Today on the show, we talk about DC and its apparent love for the number 52. Hello and welcome to the show with Issues. I'm Auram, and if you're a fan of DC Comics, you've probably seen the number 52 thrown around a lot. In fact, it's actually starting to spread to other mediums, like the CW DC shows and the like. So why is that? What's DC's obsession with this random number all about? That's what we're going to get to the bottom of today, so let's get started. DC Comics, or as I like to call them, the king of redundant company names. Stupid jokes aside, this is something that has perplexed me for a long while as someone who is sort of on the outside looking in when it comes to all this DC jibber-jabber. I read Marvel comics week to week with the occasional DC book thrown in, but my bias definitely shows. So when I started really noticing this number show up, I wanted to learn about its significance, and what I found was actually pretty cool and somewhat surprising. Let's start by going all the way back to 2005, where DC's New Earth was about to clash with another one of its famed crises. For those unfamiliar, a crisis in DC terms is a universe-shattering event that usually, if successful, creates an entirely new multiverse, effectively kicking off a reboot. DC is infamous for these, as they seem to have one every few years, even though they've only rebooted their multiverse twice. Anyway, back to the crisis at hand. In 2005, an event struck up by the name of Infinite Crisis, and in it were trials and tribulations, resulting in coarse tragedies and harsh realities, which all eventually culminated in a one-year time skip for New Earth. Can you tell I haven't actually read the story? This is like writing a high school book report. The actual plot of Infinite Crisis is beside the point, though. What's really important here is that one-year time jump that it resulted in. What happened in that mysterious 365 days, fans ask themselves? We'll tell you, answer the DC writers and artists as they slowly produce the first significant appearance of the number. This came in the form of a year-long event titled, simply, 52. This series closely examined that missing period week to week for an entire year. It featured lesser-known characters as the protagonists, seeing as heroes like the Big Three were out of commission as a result of Infinite Crisis. But why is this series named 52 in the first place? Well, this is where things start to get a little fuzzy. At face value, you could probably say that the book is called 52 because of it being a weekly series that ran for a year, and a year has 52 weeks in it. But using that logic, you could call any weekly series that runs for a year 52. This is where the actual canon significance of the number comes in, and where the actual origin gets even fuzzier. So in the finale of this huge run, it's revealed that at the end of Infinite Crisis, the universe slowly started to create identical copies of itself, 52 to be exact. Why were there 52 parallel worlds and not, say, 50 or 60? This is where things get a little weird. So now it's going to loop back into the weeks in a year and the actual name of the book. So basically, the name of the book is based on the amount of parallel universes in the DC multiverse, which is based on the number of weeks in a year, which is what the name of the book is called, which is based on the amount of parallel universes that I'm stuck in a loop now. Alright, so here is where all the people come in asking about the new 52 and what it has to do with all these shenanigans, and this is where I begin to lose it because all reasoning and logic is thrown out the window. Okay, maybe I'm being a bit dramatic here. The reasoning behind the new 52 being named the new 52 is in reference to two things. The most obvious being that it's just a simple reference to the amount of comic series that the reboot launched with. The new 52 originally launched in 2011 with 52 new titles. But again, why 52? That's where the second reference comes in, along with that dreaded loop I was caught in earlier. The 52 in New 52 is also referencing the 52 comic series. Or wait, maybe it's referencing the amount of universes. Or it could be in reference to the number of weeks in a year again. Or hold on, maybe DC is just being self-referential at this point and is referencing the fact that they just love that number. That last part is what really interests me here. The idea that this number, that really started as something super simple and pretty much was just a, hey, why don't we use this number kind of thing, turned into something bigger than expected and is now a synonymous number when talking DC Comics. In fact, this seems to be a thing that DC does a lot. They'll notice something is popular and capitalize on it while just turning it into an object that doesn't really mean what it originally did. It's even in their name. DC originally stood for Detective Comics, but now that can't be true because the company is called DC Comics, which in reality would just be Detective Comics Comics. I'm almost certain the reason DC is called what it is today is because no one said Detective Comics, so they eventually just went with it, and hey, I'll be damned if it didn't work. So let's recap here. DC holds an event called 52, which is a weekly comic series that runs for a year and it becomes immensely popular. They realize this, and slowly the number becomes synonymous with the company, even having it be a part of their 2011 major reboot. Along the way, the origin of the number is disputed until it is just watered down to being related to 52 and its success. Now the number appears everywhere across DC's empire, especially in the Flash TV show from what I've seen. Seriously, it's referenced like twice per episode. This actually has me curious, were any of you confused about DC and 52? Talk about it in the comments, you dingles. July is starting up and I still need to finish this semester's classwork. That's depressing though, so let's talk about my pull list. I'll be getting 6 titles, including A-Force #2, Amazing Spider-Man issue 19.1, and Ultimate End issue 3. Oh boy, I can't wait to be even more confused with Ultimate End issue 3. Anyway, here's the rest of my pull list with Marvel and DC stuff as always. But that's it for this week. I had a lot of fun with this topic. It was one of those crazy ideas I had that I didn't think I'd be able to pull off, but I think I did alright. That's too much behind the scenes junk for now though, so thanks for watching. Next time I'm not dripping in sweat. This is honestly disgusting. It's so hot in this studio.